The goddess is the word. Then it shall be my pleasure to ask. Do you hold it to be true, O seeker? Blessed be your willing premise the first.
Correct.
Agreed. That is correct.
Premise the second.
Incorrect.
Yes, that is incorrect.
Premise the third.
Correct.
Agreed.
Most gratifying. Oh yes, most exemplary indeed. You have understood the words of the goddess, and I deem you worthy of her true test, of the true trial that shall make you an immaculate. We are the chosen conduit, yes. The goddess is the few, the proud, the enlightened. To become an immaculate, you must experience both the goddess's bane and her boon. Leave Silver Glen and take the western path. Follow it to where the winds howl and a great skull looms within the rocks. There you will find it, the hollow and the true trial within. Immaculate guards bar the way, but tell them you have my blessing and they shall let you pass. But take utmost care, the road is beset with horrors, and your mettle will be truly tested before you've even set foot within the goddess's trial. It would behoove you to train in advance of setting upon that treacherous path. Good luck, Seeker.
Blessed
I
be
shall
the
await
goddess,
you in the chamber
and
of
blessed
blood.
be
Give me the
the
strength,
conduit.
O goddess, to become enlightened.
Look there. A portal.
Should we find out where it leads to?
Oh!
A peaceful wood. The caterwauling of cultists was making me ill.
Lucula seems fairly infested with Immaculate. I wouldn't count on a long respite.
I spotted something. The world is not immaculate as yet, friend. Be wary. Be vigilant.
Stop for death, or it will stop for you. Oblige death now, for it obliges you. Tell me, traveler, do you wish to die? Death sends its finest carriage for you, yet you deign to step inside? An insult, yes, but unhappy guests. Stop for death. And how will you die, then? Do you wish for a long courtship with the Reaper? Or for a quick and wild affair? Death flies bat-like. Stop for death. And how will you die, then? Do you wish for death creeps, tests, nuzzles, withdraws,
What have you got stashed in here, Mrs. Cottontail?
stop for death. And how will you die, then? Death. Stop for death, or it will stop for death.
Poor man. It seems he was eaten by a beast.
Well, partially eaten, to be more precise.
Kindly old soul. We'll get you out of this.
Ah, the Source Hunter. It is my greatest pleasure to announce to you that we Immaculates have captured the feared White Witch and quarantined her house of horrors. Yes, the greatest known threat to Rivellon has been neutralized, thanks in no small part to you, Source Hunter. Your activities in Sicil drove the snake to her den, and that's where we Immaculates sprang our trap. Ah, the High Counselor of Sicil. We mourned his tragic death. Yes, every Immaculate... Still, Source Hunter, I am sworn on my life to guard this quarantine. I serve a higher authority than yours, and will not waver in my duty. Regardless, I've sworn it.
How about you close your eyes for a bit? Have a rest.
Close my eyes in the middle of Luculafo. You there! Your nightship! Oh, please, come to our aid! My wife and I are stranded here. Oh, we're refugees, my liege. Two of the far too few souls that managed to escape Hunter's Edge when the orcs invaded. We were hoping to reach Silverglen, but we were attacked by highwaymen. Those devils would have scalped and skewered us if it hadn't been for Alfie. Oh, the brave creature bit one of them in half, though not before being frightfully wounded himself.
To think
Oh, it
of
was
all
naught but a small stop for trading folk along the long road south to Sicil. We got along all right, but now our little home's finally been undone. Orcs invaded, and the source hunter who was meant to protect us, bravest beast of burden in the borough is Alfie. But the poor blighter's bleeding like a stuck pig and can't move. Why, it would be folly to abandon a bandit killer in a wood full of bandits now, wouldn't it, your knightship? Besides, all our worldly wealth is strapped to his back. We'd be destitute, and yet we can hardly stay here forever. Silverglen is close enough to see the chimney fumes from here. Mara absolutely refuses to leave Alfie's side, and like I said, I'm inclined to agree with her. If only... Oh, we'd be mighty grateful if you would escort us to Silverglen, your knightship. For it is our aim to set up... Without Alfie, though, without the tools he carries, I'd be like a fisherman without his rod, grasping for salmon with his bare hands. Never. Our predicament is clear. And the biggest problem is that Alfie's wounds are so dire, no ordinary healing potion will work. He needs... Well, I don't know what he needs, but they say miracle cures are produced.
Dear, oh dear, my nerves are all shot. I'd add some of these blue mushrooms we saw to this here hodgepodge.
I knew that man, comrade. A fine blacksmith, Bjorn. It gladdens me more than you can imagine to see he and my... Well, it started like any other day, comrade. I told you before, and this much was true, there hadn't been a peep from the Phantom Forest in nearly a century. And save the occasional drunken orc wandering in from the west, there was no... I was on patrol one sunny afternoon when I stumbled upon a pair of scrawny orcs building a fire. Bellowed at them to get, but they went for their swords instead. Well, what I did find was a deep red, apple-sized gemstone in one of their pockets. It was warm in my hand and seemed far too fine a treasure to belong to an orc. You and I both know that now, but then my senses were dulled by years of peace. I'd grown soft. I was foolish. I figured it to be an oversized ruby, and it was their kind never did take a shine to such finery, so I assumed it had been stolen for its trading value. I pocketed the gem and planned on sending it up to Academy North for the Order to deal with. All was peaceful back at the village, all was quiet. If only I'd known then. If only I had paid attention. had seen the signs. Night had only just begun to fall when they surrounded us. It could only have been a few dozen, but they swarmed like hundreds. Those of us who resisted were immediately cut down. I watched the blood of innocent villagers spill into the streets. I saw their bodies hit the ground. People it was my job to protect, comrade. I made myself promise that night, comrade. Never again would I let another sign of source pass me by unnoticed. Never again would I fail in my... It's a promise I intend to keep.
We'll be dining on pine cones soon.
Let's discuss. For now, maybe we ought to...
Don't you worry, my sweet. We've outrun the orcs and we've outrun these highwaymen too.
Oh, I hope so, my love. But without the wind, it's so. What can we possibly do?
I'm overheating here.
Dearest Alfie, how brave you were. Oh, how you have suffered for it.
Oh, no, please.
No, no! You're hurting him, Sir Knight. Oh, no wizard's trick.
To think of all the... I'm fine. Don't worry about me. But
Close my
how
eyes
about
in
you
the middle
close
of
your
the
eyes
cooler
for a bit?
forest.
Have a
Chances
rest.
are I'll never open them again. You there! Your night. Oh, we'll rest those. Oh, it was bravest. Why, and yet. Oh, we'd be without our print. Oh, we are, my liege.
You're right. We should try to heal Alfie first.
Indeed.
Oh, I'm glad you've agreed Alfie needs to be saved before we can depart. Please leave no stone unturned in your search for a concoction that will heal his wound.
To think of all the
Warmest
clothes
dragon's
I
breath.
left behind in Hunter's Edge. All the jewels and trinkets.
I knew that man well, I was... You and I both... Their kind always peace. Not have those of us. I made my... It's a promise. Let's, for now, make...
To think of...
Don't you worry, my sweet. We've outrun the orcs and we'll outrun these highwaymen too.
Oh, I hope so, my love. But with Alfie wounded...
A solution
Bloodstone,
will present itself.
as
I know
powerful
it.
as
These
it is
nerves are
sinister.
bound to go here, aren't they?
A stitch in time, friends.
There you both are. Marvelous. Your efforts have borne even more fruit. And the weaver's been hard at work with the thread Starstone has borne her, and a whole portion of history has been rewoven. Rejoice, my friends, rejoice! For now we witness a tale from the eons torn from...
After the war was won, the Void Dragon remained a great threat to all existence. And so, upon the anvil of creation, the God Box was crafted. The Void was locked within, but still the question remained: who would guard the box? The two generals offered themselves. They would give up life and glory to stand sentinel. Transformed into immortal beings, they would be the Void's eternal guardians. They placed the box and the Guardians in the first garden, home of Astarte and of the world's most beautiful power, Source. For time immemorial, the Guardians stood by the God Box, no longer human in body or in mind, but duty personified.
I salute you, my master. Other elementals lie in wait until with a word you command them to action. Which one of them, pray, and that is your final choice?
Yes, it is.
Yes, indeed.
Thy will be done.
I wonder who awaits you in the next chamber. I wonder what they'll say.
So that is who we were. Demigod Guardians of the God Box.
That's not who we were. That's who they were. The ones that hijacked our souls.
I reckon you're right.
Good gods, what an infernal
Feels
heat.
like we've landed inside the heart of the sun.
You say you will serve. You say they have your loyalty still, despite their utter failure. Foolish creature. Chain your fate to theirs, and you are chaining it to certain downfall.
That remains to be seen. I do believe they will remember. I do believe I will serve them again, despite your tricks.
Always am I the trickster, always am I the malefactor. Yet all I do is speak the truth. They failed before, and they will fail again. The void, I can see it approaching in their eyes.
What radiance burns from your being? Enough to scorch even the likes of me, I find. And that is no small feat. Most impressive, yes, most impressive indeed. Why, I am a soldier of fire. And does this landscape not befit me? I have lived here for eons, since the first great peace, when the world as your kind. We were invited here by a great leader, I believe. Yes, a leader. I'm sure it was. The details, they crumble like ash when I try to grab, but the radiance of that time has never left me. Victory, blazing victory, adorned our heads like a crown of glorious flames. I'm sure one as radiant as yourself. What do I know? Ha! Fire magic is me, and I am it. Take care, my friend.
bloodstone, as powerful as it is sinister.
Dear Starstone commanders, I do apologize for the state your homestead is currently in. It's like a zoo in here, or worse. And that's right. These red little blighters appeared as out of nowhere when another one of the portals became active. God 7 or 700. If there's one thing I can't stand, it's imps. Stumbled, yes! The exact word. A stab in the dark that I wish I'd simply got banned of? Why, I'm not one of them! Not one of those exiles that were slaves to demons and their ogre! But talk to them if you must hear their history. I haven't the stomach for them. No, what I need is the sound of a symphony.
Think I could fly straight to the void?
It's drafty in here, isn't it?
Fly straight to the void.
Oh my word! Oh my heavens! A source hunter! Careful, I'm losing my breath. Too much air. Oh! Phew! Right you are, of course, source hunter. But I've a propensity for hyperventilation whenever I'm faced with my ultimate... No need for shoving now. There's enough of the imp of the year to go around. Every year. But
Greetings, Source Hunter. I've a great many questions for you. If you've the time to start. I do quite wonder how this place came to be. Next, I'm curious if you could tell me the exact weight of your partner. If you had time, I'd also like to inquire after your dear mother. How is her health? And finally, compasses. And so the...
Hi! Hello, 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 hello! I'll tell you whatever you like, friendo. But it'll cost you. Say! Oh, don't...
I'd say hello, but I'd much rather say heaven oh! Listen to this one. What do you call it? And here's one. Hey, that...
Psst. Strange. I'm zapping you just as hard as my finely tuned mental prowess allows. Yet I can't... No, not...
Straight to the void? I think I could fly straight to the void. All the way up!
Zap, zap, zap! Careful now, you're next. What a wonderful place this is. A lovely locale to rest my weary belly. Far better than the hellish plains we imps are used to. Yes, I think we'll stick around. Oh, with you know, that hoity-toity historian thinks he's so much better than us demon thralls just because he was never actually enthralled by demons. And yet he's no more than a lackey to the gods, isn't he? What's the difference? Right you are. Grab a drink, sit your... We imps, you see, are a mixed breed of demons and some other long-forgotten race, which means we aren't as evil as the devils that begot us. But I'll be damned twice over if we aren't as clever. We hail from the realm of Nemesis, where demons have ruled supreme since, well, forever, really. Their knowledge of secrets and art. Now, curiosity may have killed the cat, poor thing, but it enslaved us imps as well. We were blinded by the promises of knowledge the demons dangled in. Yes, well, in hindsight it wasn't. But it seemed like a good idea is what happened. In return for our fair share of demonic knowledge, all of us imps had to sign our names in an indestructible book called the Codex, which was to be considered an oath of servitude. A contract of give. Fools that we were, we readily agreed, and thereby signed our way into slavery. For we had to do everything the demons told us to, and they, in turn, shared very little knowledge with us indeed. Quite so. That's because one day, a particularly clever imp amongst us devised an escape plan. If we would be able to steal the Codex and disappear with it, the demons would no longer be able to lay claim on us, for without the proof of the Codex. One night, as the demons lay sleeping after a most sordid orgy indeed, we stole the Codex and fled from Nemesis through a rift. Ever since then, we've been on the run, for our masters swore they'd return the Codex. So all we do is run and hide ad nauseam. Eternal fugitives are we.
Well, aren't you going to leap through?
Who kind of got lost, to tell you the truth. That's what happens after generations of flight. Things get misplaced. And yet, wherever that bloody book may be, up until now, the demons still haven't found it. So, good news there. Only a matter of time until they do, though.
I sense an eerie presence here.
Yes. Like creepy crawlies down the spine. Demons.
Here. You do not disappoint. I knew you'd come this way. Room by room you encroach upon this territory, willfully. No, you do not disappoint. Something much more. You have our thankfulness, our eternal gratitude, the acknowledgement of the void. Relent, guardians, relent.
Duty. I wonder what it meant by that.
And I wonder why we had the thanks of those that long for the end of time.
of you here. Fallen stars, forgotten angels from on high. But you've changed quite considerably, I see. Yes, the divine is but a glimmer in the farthest reaches of your gaze. Well, perhaps I can help you. One of your kind ought to be a bit stronger, or my autobiography will hardly serve you. What's far more relevant is what I see in you. Quite crucial, your survival, isn't it? And you do seem such a reasonable sort. Yourself redone, of course. Your very parts and pieces reorganized into something simply better. again. Yourself redone, of course. Your very parts and pieces reorganized into something simply better. A pleasure to see you again. Yourself redone, of course. I'd quite like to help you, my friend. But unless you've got a mark of talent to spare, no deal can be struck. Pleasure to see you again. A pleasure to see you again. Eager for yourself redone, of course. Quite the undertaking, isn't it? Wrenching such information from your every limb and organ won't be easy, my friend. No, I'd quite like to help you, my friend. But unless you've got a mark of talent to spare, no deal can be struck. A pleasure to see you again. Yourself redone, of course. I'd quite like to help you, my friend. But unless you've a mark of ability to spare, no deal can be struck.
Yourselves, you lot. This is a nice sort of place, and we don't want to muck it up. Aye, aye, Captain. Now behave yourselves, you lot. This is a nice sort of place, and we don't want to muck it up.
There is magic to this place, isn't there? No matter how forlorn it seems.
There is magic, but it is not so much forlorn.
Source Hunter, welcome, welcome.
Think I could fly straight to the void? I think I could fly straight to the void.
I wonder how much of a spark it takes to zap a human to vapor. Has a nice ring to it, doesn't it?
Tell me, O Weaver, if you know all that is past and present, does that mean you know the future as well?
Alas, no. I can predict with a degree of certainty, but I cannot speak of what is to come unequivocally. Time and I are one, but we must both run our course before reaching reality. There are quite a number of imps here, my most honored guest. Ask, and I shall answer, if I can. I think that perhaps you can redeem time. Know that no longer, but suddenly the new thread, these star stones. Please, seek them so that time may yet be mended. Please, for the sake of all that lives and all that love.
May the goddess guide you through the forest and keep you safe.